What's going on, everyone? This is Michael Stewart-Isaacs.
And this is Shemekka Ebony.
And this is your next edition of
Sunday Stacks.
Yes, Sunday Stacks, back once again to give you your favorite show of the week. Yes, Sunday Stacks is a podcast only on YouTube, but yes, it is one of the most riveting conversations. We are so fortunate in season 1 to have had so many amazing episodes. So we thank you all, the listeners.
Yes, thank you for listening.
For your support and everything you do. So as always, let's make sure you like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you find something empowering or impactful from the Sunday Stacks experience, definitely make sure you let us know in the comments. We appreciate all of you. So we're going to get into this week. We're going to get right into the energy. We all know we're smack dab in Women's History Month. And just like sometimes like Black History Month, we can go forward for a week or so or the first 2 weeks and then we start drowning off and thinking we're supposed to be doing other things. But no, it's the whole month. Mm-hmm. And like that, within Women's History Month, we have International Women's Day and so many great events were going on this week. And we're going to let our favorite host, Shemekka Ebony, tell all about the experiences she had this week, because I'm telling you all, once she unpacks some of these stories, you're going to get so much joy out of it. We want to thank our sponsors, QuickBooks, for what they do to give us a space to help empower entrepreneurs and other business owners out there to make sure that they keep their books in order so they can continue to grow and make sure that they help their family, community, and company. So thank you, QuickBooks. As always, the link will be in the description, so you check it out. You get a discounted code from our audience, so we definitely appreciate that. And Shemekka, we look forward to learning a little bit about your week. Can you tell the people what Women's History Month has meant to you so far, and just tell them some of the phenomenal stories and celebrations you've been able to have over International Women's Day? And I'm just going to let you go.
Well, thank you so much for just letting me go. I want to kick it off first by advocating and lifting up the forum platform to make sure if you want to go in with me to be that strong, more empowered, more focused woman on your leadership journey, then check out one of my upcoming peer groups that is hosting on Forum. You can find that information out, but we want you to come on through with Lead Her Ship, because we know that they celebrate us this month for everything that we do, and sometimes we just need to be that rebooting, refuel for ourselves. And so that Lead Her Ship Empowerment Group is for you, and we'll be having that group launching in April, so stay tuned. Make sure you go ahead and sign up and reserve your seat, because it is limited seating, because we really believe strongly in being in relationship with you and getting you to your next level. So International Women's Day was this past Friday. I was excited and elated to go to a women's empowerment brunch that was hosted by the Women's Business Center of North Carolina, Women's Business Center of Charlotte, and the Institute. We had a phenomenal brunch. We had a Mexican consulate there that was sponsoring. She provided a check for some upcoming Spanish and English language support, because we know with business development, we sometimes as women can have these barriers of language that limit our access for support and resources. I share that translation, or what I call jargon, when it comes to business development with Black women through Black Girl Magic Market. So I was there representing Black Girl Magic Market, Shemekka Ebony Firm, and got a chance to see people that were here in the Triangle community doing their thing. So shout out to the women that are breaking barriers, being the first. And with that, it comes a challenge of sometimes carrying that weight. And so we had the wonderful pleasure on Saturday of reminding women of their worth. In partnership with Andrew Public Library, we held an event that was a brunch as well, that really lifted up the stories and truths of 3 authors that were featured. I was one of them, but also we heard from the people in the room. It was a really strong opportunity to be heard and be healed. Shout out and thanks to Spectrum News for covering this event, because they too understood the significance and importance of celebrating women and reminding them of their value, worth, and who they are. So shout out to Spectrum for being able to lift this. And also a shout out to Jocelyn, because without her support and her leadership and guidance with the Andrew Public Library, leading Andrew Public Library, this wouldn't have had a chance to be in fruition. And through the rain, people showed up, and it was so beautiful to see the pouring and overflow of love and support and renewal and refueling that the women that showed up and came to the event was able to receive.
I love it, and I enjoyed it. I'm always there filming and capturing and, working in partnership with Spectrum News to capture this story. We are just really so glad to just be a part of the spirit of not only watching moments to see women get celebrated, but also seeing new women who are almost waking up to the possibility of what they can be through example, and having powerful women who have overcome. It's not to say they've never been through, it's not to say they live with any silver spoon, but women who endured heavy hardships, but then found a way to create their own signature brands, their own signature careers, and just giving other women hope at all ages. It was just an amazing thing to see these experiences and just be fortunate to get the news and other people to start telling these stories alongside other stories that they choose to tell us. We're happy to start to create a different narrative. And that's the whole point of what we do with our network with I Am Brilliant. Mm-hmm. Our goal from the last 8 years has been for us to be able to capture stories that aren't being told. Yes. It started here from Sunday Stacks, believe it or not, on the HBCU campus of St. Augustine. And it's evolved into this space that we've created for us to be able to share what it feels like with the purpose of a Sunday Stacks, to stack your week up, week to week, and make sure that you're accounting for your family, your community, and your company in regards to your growth and how you continue to move. Mm-hmm. Another thing I want to lift up is, for everything Shemekka was telling you, we're going to have this content on our YouTube channel at Sunday Stacks. Of course, you can find the links to our other pages. We have I Am Brilliant on YouTube. If you want to check out some of the photos from the event, go to I Am Brilliant on Facebook, and you'll be able to see some of the images, as well as we're on Instagram with I Am Brilliant UR2, the letter U, the letter R, and the number 2, I Am Brilliant UR2. And as always, you can find most of our content by searching the hashtag or Google us, and a lot of it will come up and give you access to ways to see a lot of what we get involved in. So I just want to ask a few questions, Shemekka. Like, what were the best takeaways from these different events that you went to? Tell us some of the people you met. Tell us some of the experience, whether it was with the celebration for International Women's Day or even the event that was held on this past Saturday with the Angier Public Library. Tell us some of from each one, tell us like your best takeaways, some of the gems you might have learned, and share that with our audience.
Just to kick it off, one thing that keeps ringing in my head that was so powerful and amazing with the International Women's Day brunch was, one of the speakers said that she was in a room listening to a gentleman talk about $1 million days. And she herself was sharing her story about she hadn't been thinking big enough. That $1 million day as a business owner is incredible. But some of us are still aspiring to just have $1 million year. And so I was inspired and motivated that I want to begin thinking about $1 million days and what that's going to look like for my businesses that I have, because that will be the key to my freedom and my becoming the steward that God has called me to be in this work, to be able to pour into and sow into different initiatives and other organizations. Currently, I'm so proud that the dress that I wore to this brunch, I got it when I was in Sierra Leone, because there were so many marketplaces filled with Black women, entrepreneurs that had set up shop on sides of the roads and selling the crafts of their hand. And so I was able to, in Sierra Leone, see Black Girl Magic Market in real time. And so it meant a lot to me to be able to wear that dress in honor of the incredible women in Sierra Leone. And I'll lift up and shout out Monica, who her organization, she has a organization that she does, NGO, that she works with girls and helps mentor them and help them to find journeys of entrepreneurship or education to be self-sustaining and be contributors to their family. So shout out to Monica. You can find her book that she has. She has a digital book that we lift for her and sell, and the proceeds of that go to her in Sierra Leone to be able to continue the work of her organization. So,
and we'll put the link in the bio as well, so you definitely all will have a chance to support that, because it's definitely a great thing that Shemekka is doing for Sierra Leone and West Africa, for those who are geographically not inclined, but definitely appreciate all the work she's been able to do. But yeah, let's definitely put that link in the bio, because I'm glad you brought that up in this episode. But definitely continue. Tell us all the great, continue to keep going. Give us the gems.
Well, one thing that I thought was super incredible is that women in that room were at various stages of their business development. Some were seasoned, some were the first generation business owners, some were still working their full-time job and just trying to put their feet into, launching their business and getting more comfort. So it was a great environment for people to network intentionally. It was a packed room, so I'm sorry if you missed it, but, don't sleep when I put those alerts out on my social media platforms, because these are things that we need to be involved with and be in the room with, because that's where deals are made. It's in relationship building. And that was another takeaway that I was able to conceive. There were women in that room that Kimberly and Daisha come to mind most immediately. And then also we've been I guess, engaged in seeing their business journey, all of our business journeys develop since the days of Invictus, which was a networking space, a co-working space in Durham several years back, and to be able to see their growth journeys as well in the real estate industry and the entrepreneurship industry, with being a mobile bartender, and both of them are so gifted in their craft. And then you see other leaders in the community that are doing incredible things. Shout out to Roar, Dion. This is a very well-connected young lady that I've seen, and from both of us are from rural communities in North Carolina. So I love and am standing very proud to have witnessed her journey of growth and development in the entrepreneurship scene, as well as the empowerment scene for women. So those are some of the powerful stories of women that were in the room that were not only growing their own network, but also willing and able to pour out. I met several book authors. There were Black women book authors in the room that want to connect and share. So I was like in a social networking heaven when it came to being able to connect with authors and give an opportunity, which allowed me to invite many of them to the event that we had at Andrew Public Library, because we wanted it to not just be the 3 people featured, but I invited everyone that had a book. This was an open opportunity for any author to come in and, present your work for what's coming next and how to find your new audience. So I was glad to be able to tie those things in together and help these women also see the power and impact of being an author and the entrepreneurship journey of authorship and promotion of your book. It really is a great opportunity to tell your story, but also learning the network of monetizing is just as important. So events like that convening for the brunch for International Women's Day gave that platform, and shout out to the Women's Business Center for creating the space and hosting this event and lifting up opportunities for us to engage, for sure.
That's amazing. And just all the stories you're just giving us and the gems that you were able to receive. $1 Million days. That's definitely something that we all can look forward to. Yes. If we're really trying to seriously build generational wealth. I'm
having an expectation for that.
$1 Million days,
it's coming forward.
It's coming. I to break simple, with my platform Entrepropaganda and just the conversations I have as a speaker, I always say, if you want to make $1 million in a year, it's the equivalency of making just around $20,000 a week. So just imagine what you have to do to make $1 million day happen. 52 weeks in a year, 20,000 a day. So you think about how many 52 things you can do for 20,000 every. Think about that in that context, or 20,000 things you can sell for $52. right? There's math to get you to these things. And I think,
and we cannot be afraid of math, which is another illusion is given to women, that we've just been coached and conditioned to steer away from science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And so I just want to speak up for the women that, your first response may be, I don't like math. Well, I would have to say you don't like to get paid, because there's no way you can keep money if you don't know how money grows. So if you have challenges with math, move it to the side and know how your money operates and know how you want to operate your money.
I love it. So, as always with Sunday Stacks, we are about family, community, and company. So we are going to get a little shift, and we're going to call this the unique, not Wizard of the Week, but the State of Your Union. Yes, the State of Your Union. We're doing a different type of feature this week for our Wizard of the Week. It's a special edition where we have to go through the State of our Union. And we have so many stories to unpack, and we'll do our best to wrap this up and really give you the real gems of it. But this week, we had so many political things that have gone on, whether it's just you as an individual household that was just trying to simply vote, and we'll have a story we'll unpack there, as well as if you were someone who saw the hoopla of Super Tuesdays and who people were choosing that they wanted to represent them and represent our country as leaders. And we saw greater that it wasn't just leadership at the highest level of being just the president, but all the down ballot people that you need to learn about that are saying they want to serve your community. They might have business backgrounds. They might have legal backgrounds. They may have in the community backgrounds. But what we must do is have more awareness of that down ballot mindset of how we actually utilize this information to help our family, community, and company really grow. And so it's Sunday Stacks. We're all about education. We've unpacked a lot in regards to encouragement for the women of the families and what we could do in regards to seeing them grow. But when we look at our political choices this week, after the Super Tuesday, our president, Joe Biden, then gave us the State of the Union. So we can all have our political opinions in regards to Joe Biden and his presidency. But ultimately, we need to ask ourselves, what is the state of our own unions in our homes? What is the state of our fiscal soundness? What is the state of our $1 million days? What is the state of our balance sheets and how grocery bills and all these other things that we know are impacting us? And we have to look at these things critically from our families and our homes first, then stretch out to our communities and then ultimately stretch out to our companies. But then we have our greater body of elected officials and other people who are supposed to create the conditions that we need so our families, our communities, and companies can thrive. And that's the thing we're trying to bring home with Sunday Stacks, is our own personal state of the union, our own journey in regards to our own fiscal health, and how we spawn leadership across many people. And that's really what the I Am Brilliant movement has been about, is that we're connecting with people to help teach them how they're the leaders they're looking for. And so many people have caught whatever psychosis that had made them believe that they cannot or someone else is supposed to. But we here are showing people in the most loving way how we all can start changing the state of our own unions and really start to thrive. Now, Shemekka, we already know you ain't about these politics. You ain't about this foolishness. But let's talk about the state of our union. Let's talk about the state of our union. And let's talk about ways that people here, do you have any advice in how we can shift the mindset and make ourselves aware of the political leaders that we use to represent us, but at the same time, not give them so much power that we don't take our own accountability and responsibility in our own homes and in our own communities and in our own companies and those we try to employ and staff and build teams around, that we don't change the conditions of the land we're in. What's your thoughts on all that, the State of the Union?
Well, I feel like you've kind of driven down several lanes as I was following as far as how we look at the State of the Union. I'll, I guess, begin with lifting up. You have to have inventory of what's going on, what you are doing, the results of the work that you're doing, what's the long-term game. If we're not thinking about how to protect the things that we have, if we're not thinking about how to grow the things that we have, our State of the Union is not going to have the greatest outcomes, because the reports are not, it's going to be evident of what you've done. So when we think about how civically it's important for us to be aware, as you spoke on, people on the down ballot, the State of the Union is a reflection of what the president has been able to accomplish with the elected officials that are representing you in community. And so if you do not pay attention to the down ballot and how this information, policy change, advocacy, all these things, trickle down to your local city council or town council because they're connected. They're talking what is being said that best represents you. And if you can't soundly answer that, then it may be an opportunity for you to learn about these elected officials, learn about their candidacy, what they're running on, and then find ways in your own personal power that you can stand and hold these people, elected officials, into accountability.
I love it. I think you just touched on so many great, just simple things, right? Sometimes we make it more challenging, would you agree, than what it takes to just be aware for something that impacts us so strongly.
Well, one powerful thing that we must be mindful of, especially this year, between now and November, is that people are going to really listen to people that they have relationship with. So they're not going to necessarily pay more attention to a news article or pay more attention to an advertisement on a TV more than they will value the feedback of someone that may be a trusted voice in their community, maybe a trusted voice in their family. And so if you know you're that trusted voice, then do your homework. Don't repeat rhetoric. Don't repeat what somebody else has said or what you heard. It's so dangerous, and we can't afford to do that in these times. People that are running for public office, this is a servant leadership position like none other that the people elect. So if we don't exercise our power, not only to elect people and get in office, but then also be the person that they know is a potential threat or their coach for accountability of what they promised and what they committed, because you're going to hear a lot. But once we found, especially with the civic engagement that I've done through legislative policy days and Hill visits, is about these people having the next steps once they get into office and not being succumbed to a system that could be hierarchical. It could be the good old buddy system. It could be where you're new, so we got to haze you a little bit before you can get anything passed. Like, these petty games are happening in the political arena. If you don't believe me, go and look at the State of the Union and look how people are doing, acting, engaging with one another. The shade contest, the standout, the heckling. These are elected officials that your taxes pay for their presence. Are they representing you well? I saw so many cell phones out and selfies being taken. It was ridiculous. I could not believe that this was a public office convening with elected officials, that their version of professionalism is getting a selfie with the president. It's not okay. This is crazy. This is not street cred in the Congress. So I'm going to stop there.
I mean, no. This is what I love about my wife and my partner, Shemekka Ebony, is that she has such a perspective that really kind of opens our eyes, but she won't hold back, y'all. She gonna tell it like it is, and she gonna tell you what the State of the Union looks like. And again,
it's in distress.
It's in distress, and we have to, continue to support shows like Sunday Stacks. Our goal is to make sure that you won't feel that distress, because week for week you're gonna stack up. You're gonna stack up. We're gonna make sure that it stacks up for you, that it makes sense for you, that the things that you're hearing and you're unpacking, it rolls with you.
You're gonna share. You're gonna hear new solutions, and you're gonna hear what's possible for you. I want to lift up also, because we saw this in evidence and just hearing the stories of the women at the Women Know Your Worth, that there's these expectations that are pressed on us that cause us to not bring our full authentic selves. And with that, it's much easier for people to put people that they deem as good on pedestals and make them anomalies. And something I stand strong that Michael and I are not an anomaly. We're an evidence of what's possible. And if you believe that what's possible for us can be possible for you, then go get it. Because we're not the only ones that are walking in this light and this truth. We are just sharing a way, and it's up to you to be ready to show yourself that you can do it too.
All right. Well, This has been a wonderful conversation. I'd love to keep it going longer, but again, just tune in. If you just come into the show, welcome and check out past episodes. I encourage you. They're entertaining, they're engaging. Doesn't matter the date on them.
And comment. We keep all of the comments open even on past episodes because it's still relevant and full of powerful nuggets. So yeah, don't hesitate to engage with us.
Yes, and we will engage back and definitely give you a shout out and definitely take consideration of any points and anything that people may disagree with. We look forward to being corrected and learning new ways to see things. So thank you for listening to this edition of Sunday Stacks. As always, please check in all the links that we've discussed. Yes, like and subscribe. Everything we discuss will be links in the bio for our sponsors, for all the different people we're looking for you to help support. So thank you so much for your time. And as always, we say, I am brilliant and you are too. Thank you again for this edition of Sunday Stacks, and we'll see you back here next week.